Hello, this is Lou Vani with another Elvis Presley album review, and this time I shall be reviewing Blug Hawaii, a soundtrack album from 1961. This is one of Elvis's most successful records. It actually spent 20 weeks at the number one position, I believe, on the Billboard pop charts during that time frame, 61 to 62. Over the years, just in the US alone, it has sold a staggering 3 million units or more, I believe. One of his most successful albums, as I have said, and with GI Blues, one of his best-selling soundtrack albums of all time. I shall rate each song out of 5, so I will give it a numerical rating out of 5. And let us begin with the very first song, and that's Blug Hawaii. Blug Hawaii is a lush, romantic track that Elvis sings in a crooner-type style. His voice is magical on this. He gives it some nice touches. He kind of gives it sort of a smooth, full baritone mixed in sort of with that operatic or semi-operatic medium tenor style of his, and it definitely works. The musicianship is superb. Alvino Ray, I believe his name is, does an excellent job on steel guitar. It definitely elicits those Hawaiian Polynesian sounds. It's just strikes a very, very positive mood. I really like this track a lot. Elvis also uses a nice subtle touch of melismas, especially on the word Hawaii. So very good track, 4 out of 5. Which takes us to the second song, and that's Almost Always True. This features a long instrumental intro. It's a good song. Elvis does it, justice. He's pretty solid vocally on the song. There's an exceptional saxophone solo by Boots Randolph, but it's not one of the stronger tracks, so 3 out of 5. Which takes us to the next one, and that's called Aloha Oi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. This is a traditional song, and Elvis sings only about half of it. He barely sings it at all in terms of solo singing, so you kind of feel a bit ripped off, although it's very well produced, and, it has that great traditional Hawaiian flavoring on the song. It just feels you're missing something when Elvis doesn't sing much of the song, and for that reason I give it a 3 out of 5, although his voice is good, strong, and smooth. Which takes us to the next track, and that's No More. And this is based on a song called La Paloma. It's very catchy. Again, it elicits a nice balance of the Hawaiian Polynesian sound with pop music, so that blend is really, really well done. It has terrific lyrics by Don Robertson, who wrote some great songs for Elvis, including Anything That's a Part of You. Great guitar work throughout, and good vocal control by Elvis, so this song is a winner. I enjoy it, 4 out of 5. Which takes us to Can't Help Falling in Love with You. And what can you say about this song? It's just one of the best love songs of all time. It's one of the best pop songs, period. I mean, it's an amazing track. And Elvis's vocals are dynamite. They're flawless. I mean, he delivers each line, each word, each pause with unprecedented conviction in his voice. It's a remarkable performance. I love its waltz-like feel. I love the subtlety of the Hawaiian Polynesian sound throughout the ukulele, steel guitar. The backup singers do an amazing job. The lyrics are touching. It almost leaves me speechless. It's such a remarkable track. 5 out of 5. Brilliant. Which takes us to Rock-A-Hula Baby. Rock-A-Hula Baby just doesn't do it for me. This is kind of sanitized rock and roll, and I say that because I know Elvis was capable of doing better rock and roll songs than this. His vocals are good, I'm not complaining about that. The musicians do a pretty good job, but something's missing. It falls flat, it's almost like the whole song is going through the motions. It is catchy, it's decent. I give it a 3 out of 5. Which takes us to Moonlight Swim. Moonlight Swim is more of an easy listening Elvis. He kind of gives it that crooner's touch again, but a good solid vocal command. The lyrics are a tad silly, if you will, and I think there's too much reliance on the backup vocalists, which kind of dwarf the overall sound of the song. Not one of my favorites, 3 out of 5. And that concludes side 1, or the A-side of Blue Hawaii. Side 2 begins with a song called Kukuipo, and I hope I do the pronunciation right of that song. This is a lush, romantic song, sort of like Blue Hawaii itself, and it captures so well the essence of that Hawaiian sound. It's well written, has a lovely sentiment behind it, and Elvis's vocal command is strong throughout. We believe he's expressing his affirmations of love, so he sings it with such believability, if you will, and nary a word is lost in his delivery, so he does an excellent job. The musicians do a good job throughout. I do like this song a lot, 4 out of 5, which takes us to the next track, which is called Ito Eats. And this one is dreadful. I mean, this is a dismal song. It's the worst track on the album. It's basically a song about a man's indulgence in gluttony. It's supposed to be funny and humorous. I guess it's not. I get it services the plot of the film, but it just does not work. And Elvis gives his voice this kind of bizarre sort of ethnic affectation, if you will. I don't know. It just doesn't work. It has no business on this album. Mercifully, it's very short. I dislike the song a lot. 1 out of 5. Worst track on the album. Which takes us to Slicing Sand. This is another track with idiotic pedestrian lyrics. And Elvis does a decent job of singing it, despite its cringe-worthy lyrics. However, it is saved by a really good polished guitar solo, either by Scotty Moore or Hank Garland. I'm not sure who did what on that track. I give that one a 2.5, not one of my favorites. Next is Kawaiian Sunset, and this illustrates Elvis's vocal prowess again. I mean, he sings it in such a smooth way, and he distributes this thoughtful, lovely vibrato throughout. I actually like the lyrics. They're quite poetic. It was written by Tepper and Bennett, who wrote a lot of soundtrack songs for Elvis, and this is one of their best. It's just a lovely, romantic ballad that works on all facets. 4.5 out of 5. Which takes us to Beach Boy Blues, and this could have been called Bleached Boy Blues, because all the energy and bluesiness is removed from this song. And we all know that Elvis could deliver a blues song with such gusto, and this one is basically, pseudo-blues, or again, sanitized blues, if you will. Look, Elvis does a good job vocally. Again, the lyrics aren't, much to get excited about. The musicians do a fine job, but it kind of falls flat. Something's missing. It just doesn't have the overall energy. It's a bit too silly for me. 3 out of 5. The next track is called Island of Love. Again, Elvis gives a nice, rich vocal performance, but it's kind of a forgettable track. Kind of like soundtrack album filler, if you will. 3 out of 5, not one of my favorites. Which takes us to the very last song, and that's called Hawaiian Wedding Song. This is another romantic ballad winner. I just love the way he sings it. He sings it in that crooner-like fashion, or that style. I remember seeing an interview with Bob Moore, who played bass on these sessions, these Blue Hawaii sessions with Elvis, or it was one of the Jordanaires, but they mentioned to him that he should sing it like Bing Crosby, and then and he definitely does that. So I guess he's kind of paying homage to those type of singers. I like the words. The musicians do a terrific job on this song. In fact, they do a great job throughout the album. Elvis is invested. He's believable. It's a beautiful vocal performance. It's a lovely song. In fact, it's a great wedding song. It's one of the best wedding songs out there. And maybe if you're getting married, you might want to consider this song. So there you go. If the last track, which is the Hawaiian Wedding Song, I'll give that a 4.5 out of 5. And Island of Love, as I mentioned before, I gave a 3 out of 5. So when you gather or garner all these scores together and you put it in the context, I guess, of percentages, it sort of varies between 68 and 71%. And that means a C plus or a B minus. But I'm giving this album, Blug Hawaii soundtrack, Elvis Presley, a B-. And the reason why is that Elvis's vocals throughout are magnificent. They're superb. It's very well produced. The musicians do a great job. I like the cover. It's very colorful. It stays true to its, Hawaiian roots throughout. So there you go, Blug Hawaii B-. I hope you like this review. And if you wish to comment, please do so, and check out my other Elvis Presley album reviews. I also do some poetry, some original songs, some skits. If you're interested in anything else on the channel, I thank you for watching. Good day or good night.